Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I'm your host, Stephen Topham the third, at your service. We're going to be talking about this seriously because I know there's a lot of things that a lot of people may not understand physically or understanding what the story unfolds, right? We get that, right? From the day I was born, you had Stephen Hatt, which is myself, before I became Stephen Topham the third, right? There's a little thing that you have to fucking get your head around. Excuse my language, but there's clues everywhere, lie everywhere, right? I get that. People know things as much as I do, but there's a lot of things you screwing up, right? You do not want this damage, number one. And number two, private connections are working overtime to try and put all this correct, right? That includes my family on top, right? I don't expect to be disrespected. Don't get me wrong, but what people need is a miracle right now, not a bloody damager. Right? What will happen now, which is what's going to happen, and eventually it will click, and things will unfold naturally. Right? Which is true. All this time, you've been getting what you need. Need. We get that. Right? People know things beyond your comprehension. Right? I cannot be in a position where you're going to be screwed up ignominiously. A lot of my private connections around the globe, even the UK, should learn by now things unfold in nature's course, right? We get that. But the thing is, because the way, like I said, a lot of places that I go to, there's only a couple places, that's why I said things unfold naturally, which it does. But stop talking about it in the pub, will you? Or any pub or any club. Right? I know you're getting the information off me, but you cannot go rap strawberry jam. There's a lot of people that know what's unfolding, but they have to keep their mouths shut because a lot of things, action wise, doing this. I said, do you want the damage you do not want? Right? It's the title that I've given it because there's a lot of things in play. Right? Well, what happened is a lot of people will understand what's unfolded before and the previous, right? Third top of that, the first got married anyway, with no problems, right? The second time was my father and my mother, right? That's been confirmed, and she did get damaged a little bit, which is true, right? You can't lie on that. But what people don't get is while the rest of the timeline is all true, the way it was meant to unfold correctly, right? A lot of my private connections are clearing up your shit, right? Overtime kill, right? People know what was meant to unfold without no bloody problems, right? I don't expect it to be pub gossip, right? I get that you want to be honest with people at the time, but there are a lot of people that do more damage than good, right? I get that, but you got to let things unfold naturally because a lot of people's, or let's say certain people's lives are connected to the franchise from other franchises as well, TV, movies, and all the others as well. It's all connected, but you have to work backwards to go forward on this, right? I don't have the luxury, right? Okay, a lot of people might think what the fuck is going on, excuse my language, but it's true, right? You're getting the facts, you're getting the truth, and you get the logic, right? People know things ahead of schedule, Why, I get that. So have I. I've got the same puzzle pieces connected all up. Right? One day, you're going to end up regretting what goes out of your bloody mouth in the pub. Right? I get that you want, right, people that drink socially, talk socially, get everything socializely. I get it. Right? The damage you're creating is something you don't want on your plate. Right? Why? Why has it been taught? Right? You have to be realistic that things unfold naturally, which is true. A lot of people may not understand why is it unfolding again. You know what I mean? It's like saying you can't blame me this time because right, I may be going on holiday for a few days, but you're gonna witness something that you don't want, right? And I won't be there in the middle to safeguard. Right? In every day, people know what's unfolding. Why talk about it in a pub? Right? I may have connections, private connections, family, friends, connections all the way through. My private connections should be helping me out, not just the other way round. But when clues have been passed on, which is true, it unfolds certain things in your mind and your head, right? A lot of the time, people that don't fully understand what is unfolding, right? A lot of people know they're giving out clues, they know they're giving out answers that I don't have to ask questions too much on, right? The damage you do not want is something that happened before, but it's not me this time. You can't blame me this time because you've got nothing to backfire on me, right? A lot of you know there are a lot of fuck ups right now, right? Too much of that people know about it around the globe. They understand the story. They understand it's my life. Yes, of course. But then everybody's got to work it out. How does this get unfolded properly? Right? People are going to backtrack and say, "I'll retract that statement or retract that what I said." Or, well, when you say it open mindedly, I may have to do the right moves for myself because it has to be done correctly by the books. People know things ahead of schedule. I get it. Some don't, which just makes it harder on them because they can't work out why I do what I do. Right? My family has already been through this once. Right? The damage was done, yes. It should have given you a head start on everything else. Why everything goes from the swan song all the way through. Right? The island swan song won't exist because it's what you're trying to prevent is this damage. Right? People talk. Right? But I'm not bullshitting, but a lot of people talk. Right? Connections out of connections. People know things. Right? We're not running for the hills with this. I get that. But there are things around you that you can't see. Right? By destroying me, you're destroying everything that was meant to unfold naturally, which is true. While all the clues come back to me, the disaster will be the thing you don't want. Right? I'm trying to prevent it to get things forward, 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 forward. But you're not helping the situation because you're blabbing it off. Right? I get it. You can't talk to me because you want to safeguard me. Yes, I get that. But people are safeguarding me, but they don't know why. Now that's all clicking in place slowly. Don't screw up because it will end up backfiring in your face. Right? It won't be my fault. It'd be down to you, obviously. People know things, right? Connections, right? All of it, it's all connected, right? People can't work out what is the connection around this. Right, I get it. If you know the hats exist, there's a reason for us to progress forward, right? We get that, right? I don't expect people talk about it in a gossip line or in the pub, right? What you're doing, you're damaging the whole fucking thing before it even gets continued, right? I will quote. I'm not Diesel 10 because obviously it's not me. And you can't blame me, right? There are a lot of people in people's safeguard mode direction. I said this. Why? Why do you think I talk to my private connections the hard way round? Because they want to expose the truth. Don't get me wrong. But talking about it in a pub or people that should know this information, they should they're getting it through their heads every day. Right? The damage you do not want is a repeated pattern what you happened before with my mother, so you don't want that. That's strike one. Number two, I'm not my father. So back off from that. Right? I get that. There are people that do not want this damage to happen, number one. Number two, regardless that it doesn't, it adds up. Right? I said, people are pointing me in the right direction. Right? I won't give out names, private connections are pointing me in the right direction to get everybody happy again. There's 8 billion people to think about, not just the North Norfolk Railway and the rest of the globe, all of it. Right? A lot of people say, why? You see, when people gossip in the pub, they have to be self aware. Right? If you don't watch Wild and the Restless timeline, you don't get what the result is. Right? You basically done what is meant to unfold to a point. Right? There are people out here in the real world that know the truth but can't reveal it. Right? I get it. But you have to be realistic. Let me give you an example, right? Everything is playing out correctly at this moment, but it could change. At this moment, you don't know what you're bloody damaging. Right? Right? You can't see it because you're bloody doing the actions, right? I said people are monitoring what you talk about, right? Even in the pub, you've been watched. Eyes and ears everywhere, right? That includes the security cameras and everything else, right? In the day, putting my mother into the picture of this is wrong. Even that. I said, don't get any more people involved because there's a lot of people that are not part of what's unfolding here, right? When people know what's meant to unfold, correct, there is a lot of things that make sense for one person may not make sense for the other because they don't know what is unfolded here, right? You have to be realistic. The answers are everywhere, but you're not picking up the right clues to work it out. How does he know that? Or how did he know that? Or how does he unfold that? I said, my family is very gifted, yes, but if you make me like a solo panel, you're losing a lot. Right? I have to think about the fourth and the fifth generation. That's pro. That is realistic. People should know this because electric cash register is the key. The answers. Right? A lot of people know what's meant to unfold, yes, but what are you doing? There are a lot of things that are meant to unfold correctly by the book. You're damaging yourselves, putting yourselves in awkward positions, right? You're not gonna win over this. You're losing it, right? A lot of my private connections themselves are working overtime to try and shut you up. I said you screwed this up too many times already. I see it. I don't need to ask questions. Stop. I'll be honest. Yes, but let it unfold because in the day you're damaging yourselves. Right? A lot of people are gonna get hurt. Not just me alone, right? It doesn't say when the whole thing has been played out for you while the rest is watching you. Right? There's a lot of people that know the truth, the logic, and the respect, but the damage you do not want on that list is that you put me right on the end, right at the moment, right? People know what moves they're making, but they don't know why or how. What's the catch or what's the gimmick? What's the reality of it all? Right? Damage you do not want on a paper roll right now, right? I'm catching people out. Many times you could count. I said, regardless it's playing out correctly at the moment, blah 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 in the pub will not help. Right? You have to be realistic within yourself to say, why does he know so much? Why did it unfold the correct way? You're missing the link. By throwing me out, you're just basically throwing everybody else's lives in the bin. Right? They won't have a life anymore. They won't have nothing to worry about. The damage you do not want to see. Right? It's a repeating pattern. Right? When I was in this position to begin with, regardless it was 2021, I told you you're dealing with a real life event, not a job or whatever. People can investigate it as much as they want and say, how did he know that? How does he know that? How does he know that? And then you've got to end up asking for questions and you want answers for. Right? People want the answers, but it unfolds naturally. It doesn't come to you forcefully. Right? People know it, yes, but they can't jump in with the say, look, don't treat me like a piece of furniture or a piece of of everything that should unfold naturally, right? There are people around my want the damage you do not want, right? A lot of people understand what's meant to unfold, right? What what you want out of this? The good result or the bad result? At this moment, you putting me and everything else, everything that comes after me, you're fucking thrown away. You throw your lives away, right? This is not a game. This is not a joke. It's reality, right? A lot of this you don't want, right? I get that. But people are going to experience things they don't have experienced before, right? A lot of people said what the gimmick is, right? You have to be realistic, right? You have to really understand it, right? To get the golden result we need, the good ending that we all want, the dignified ending, and all of that, you have to walk along the rest of this timeline because it connects nearly everything up. What you're doing is basically damaging that and said a giant fuck you card, basically. Then it screws you all over. But because I can access a lot of things that you can't, or understand what the bloody hell's got to unfold here, things unfold, yes, but there are people out there in the real world that want to screw this up. Big time screw. I said, wake up and smell the coffee. Right? People can't get it through their heads at the moment. They will see certain things unfold and they will feel uncomfortable, uneasy, very uncertain about their own future, descendants, and all of that. All of that will be gone. Right? I know things you don't. Right? I know what was meant to unfold, correct, but I'm not bullshitting either. Why do you think I know so much about my private life as much as you are blabbing about it and saying, oh, how could this be? How could this be? You want the fucking answers? What's wrong with the rest of this timeline, you bloody pricks? Sorry for being rude, but that's what you're getting. You know, while the rest of this timeline is part of the clue here. Right? The third generation's been added in, added in, added in, added in, right? What your dad, right? A lot of my private connections, right, including myself, try to clear up all your mess. It's like a troublesome truck's moved out of the way. I don't have the luxury right now because you put me in a difficult position. Right? When people cry wolf or they say, oh, I hear this and hear that, right? Then you're bloody throwing the book away at yourself. Right? You're basically saying, it's not my fault, so don't blame me. Right? I'm trying to help people out at the same time of understanding what was meant to unfold because not many people do understand what was meant to unfold. Right? There are a lot of clues, answers, and everything. It's all true, it's all facts, and it's all logic. Don't piss about with it. It's real life. Right? You can't change that because it's all realistic. Right? People know about it, private connections know about it, but what you're doing, damaging, damaging, damages. Right? My angels have to do 10,000 clear ups just to clear your mess, your mouth, your ass, and everything. Why? Because you screwed up. Why? I ended up clearing up 10 times more. Right? Which is what puts me in a little bit in a predicament right now. Right? I need your help. Right? But you have to understand where everybody's coming from because everybody has a puzzle piece that always connects it all back up. Right? You don't want to damage what you need. Right? You want it to happen officially, yes, but people are bragging too much. What you're doing, you're basically taking out the third gen out. And then that makes me do a tentative move. Right, long time ago, when my ancestors know a lot of stuff, we do pick up what they say. Right, I get it. A lot of people may not understand what's unfolding. Right, because they don't bloody understand what shit, holy crap, boom. I said just what you see because sometimes when my friends and my connections and all of that trying to help me out, don't tell them they're bloody bullshit because they want bullshit. It's like saying there are a lot of things unfolded in truth, right? Some people cannot say too much in the pub. When people do brag about it in the pub, keep your mouth shut, will you? Because one day the magic you refuse to believe in will get the better of you because of it. The damage you do not want is something you do not want on the line right now. Right? I'm telling you now, I have put strict material on this because it's all facts. While the rest of won't lie, nor would I. Right? In the day, grow up. Right? I get a lot of people brag, but my private connections will straighten you out. Right? There are things that are meant to unfold in the correct way, and you're damaging everything you need. Right? It's not once. Right? When you go in a pub, you drink a lot, you probably socialise a lot, and I say, look, get real. There are things that were set in stone for me to be safeguarded, number one. Number two, you want to know everything under the radar. I said it takes time to understand from damage to do the right thing. Right? When you cut it down in half, you're saying that's true, that's fact, that's logic. But you've got to realistically say you've heard these stories over the years and it was playing in front of you in real life. You're basically damaging me on top because you put me in a position or awkward position. I said it's all true, correct. I get it. There are people that do understand the metaphor around this, knowing what was meant to unfold. When my private connection from America says you have to combine Wild Northwestern's timeline on top of everything you read, you bookwised, everything. It's all unfolding correctly. Right? Don't tell me that I'm a bad person. Don't put me in a position where everything doesn't add up to your expectations, right? The things that are meant to unfold were all in truth, don't get me wrong, but then people now discovered the answers, but they can't give it out the answers to you because it has to unfold naturally through course, right? The damage you do not want, but you're scared of it. You fucked it up. Excuse my French. Now all my support angels have got to put you all right. Even the community has to start waking up and smelling the coffee. I'm not gonna run for the hills this time, right? And look, in the day, a lot of people may not understand what's unfolded, right? The thing is, when it comes to the pubs or any clubs or restaurants, they don't fully understand what needs to unfold to get things going again, right? That's the clicker, right? If I said to you, you screwed that up, right? It's not my fault, so you can't blame me, right? People have predicted a lot of things. People know a lot of things, right? When people know things, they know who and what and how, right? You can't blame my private connections on this because they always tell you in truth, right? In the day, you got this, you got that, you got this, right? What you're doing is more damage than good, right? What you should have done is realize while the rest of us filling in the gaps for you, that's one private connection I can give you out. But then all the private connections I have in Norfolk, Suffolk, Cambridgeshire, and even the rest of the UK, they all know about it. But they just wanted to unfold it properly by the books. We haven't got the luxury like we do. Right? So we have to do what is needed. But I'm not going to be going down this route and say, look, okay, sorry. Sorry is required, yes. People know about it, yes, because they paid attention of what's unfolded. Right? One day, you might well say, well, how do we clear up this damage? Or how we clear up this mess? Right? A lot of people know what's meant to unfold, correct, but they can't always open their mouth about it. So, If you want to be in the Albion, for example, or be in the Tyneside or anything like that, just remember you got a real life event, not a bloody children's story anymore. It's a bit of both now, right? When the book has been told correctly for you, right? A lot of people may not have the time to unanagram it themselves to realise it's true, right? But you're missing half a book, right? It's not going to go round, but it circulates every generation of my family. Yes, I have to get married to fix the time stream, right? No joke whatsoever. No, it's not a joke, right? I have what you would call nearly what has been set in stone, right? What is meant to unfold is quite clear and crystal, right? A lot of us are anagrammed in the time stream. Doesn't matter what program I'm in, or TV program, or show, or movie, and they can't put it together. Well, apologetic for that, but it's not my fault in general, right? It was uniquely designed to safeguard certain people, right? A lot of people are connected to a lot of things, which I get it. But the damage that you're trying to do right now could lead to something more dangerous than your money's worth that you got in your pocket. Right, I'm not gonna be BSing through the grid through this. Right, the damage you do not want in front of you could be your last resort. The UK will end up saying, what did we fuck up on? Right, you may not be thinking about it straightly first, but then you're gonna ask why. Right, there's a lot of things that unfold correctly, yes, but it always points back to people. Right? A lot of people can understand where I'm coming from, but I don't blab it off. Right? You need to understand I sing, I karaoke rise for you, I do everything under the radar for you, but then the dots have to connect at certain times. I got a deadline this year, which I have to deal with. Right? A lot of people cannot get it in their heads right now to understand everything, right? A lot of people can, some people can't. People are going to start commenting on me now more than anything because it's real life of it. They can argue, they can debate and say, yes, I believe that, yes, I believe that, yes, I believe it. Right? There are things unfold in truth, which is true. Let me give you an example, which I don't often do, right? I want to be honest, want to be straightforward, then you've got to work out the masterpiece, right? A lot of people who know my family quite well, right? A lot of people just cannot get around it properly like they do, right? Right? When the whole thing's come together, it sticks, right? Then you've got to work forward, backwards to go forwards, right? I get that, right? There are things in life that we take for granted, right? Right? Let me give you, um, of course. Just hold on for a moment. Bonk, bonk. Let me just get this sorted so I can explain something. Right? A lot of you may not understand what the family tree is all about. Right? We all get our family tree, right? Of it is in anagram mode, which is true. Sir Topham Hatt the first married Lady Hatt, which is true. But when my father came into power, Charles Topham Hatt, he married my mother, which is true, which puts me in the bloody picture. Right, that's fact. Right, this is where it's gonna get tricky, right? Right. So well that happened in the 1950s, 1958s. You're talking about. This is Charles Topham Hatt II, who got married in 1983. Right. Now, a lot of you may want some answers on this, right? And I'm not bullshitting with the bush, right? When my mother got married to Charles Topham Hatt II, right, I come into the picture. Stephen Topham Hatt at the service on the 10th of October, 1983. Right? Now, this is where my family tree extends. Right? So now you got a major fuck up, right? 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 Because I don't have a sister in general, I got a half sibling in play. So during the Toby of the Stout Gentleman, when I was only 5 years of age, I was at the North Norfolk Railway when the event occurred. So, right, that's true. So you have my grandfather got married to his young lady with no problems. Then my father, Charles Topham Hatt, married my mother during the early 1980s and brought me into picture on the 10th of October 1983, which puts me in the picture. Now, Now, this is the question that everybody's putting in the picture, right? Right? The anagram around this is Helena Margaret. Right? Now, this is where I've got on started on the railway when I was 5 years old. So this is go beyond 1984. So you get the point anyway. But the thing is, what a lot of people don't get. So now the big question of all of this puzzle piece, right? You got Helen and Margaret and myself, so that's one piece. But where's the fuck up? Excuse my French. But this is the thing you need to understand. This is what you're trying to damage, right? The Hat family tree has been existing since 1950s, 1958. I said Charles Topham Hatt was born in 1958, which puts my mother in 1959. So my so work it out, go forward. Right, then Helen and Margaret comes into play, and I'm Stephen Topham Hatt the third. Right, so then what's next? A lot of people have good secrets, right? Right, then now this is the one I want you to pay a flaming damn attention. Right, this is not a joke. This is reality of the timeline that's unfolding gently. This is not something you could damage. Right? So now it focuses on my son, Richard Topham Hatt. Then it goes to Nicholas Charles Topham Hatt. And then it goes finally with Emily Helen Hatt. Right? At this pick of moment, you're destroying those three lives. You're killing them. You're destroying them. Right? But because Richard Topham Hatt is the next one on the line, right? Emily Helen Hatt is my granddaughter. So if that's in check, right, I'm doing what is needed to be done, not the other way round. So Charles Nicholas Hatt may be a safeguard, ding ding, but then you got to work out why. You got three children that may be alive today, right? You have to get realistic. Stop pissing about with the time stream, right? I may be serious, but I'm fucking dead straight and honest. I would never bullshit with the bush. So you got Helen and Margaret and myself. Then you got the other three. Right? Then you have to break it down even more because then you got to realise Richard Topham Hatt plays it with a 2 year gap. And then Emily Helen Hatt takes over, which is true. Then the timeline extends. This is why People argue with me, debate, and say, "What you're doing, what you're doing." Wake up and smell a damn coffee. There's a lot of facts in all of this. Right? So when I explain it to you in black and white for you, the damage you do not want is to destroy this bit of that. Right? It's true, yes, but it's because it's in the anagram, it's safeguarding the whole lot here. Right? From me to safeguard three individuals and my wife. Right? That's true. It's not a lie. If you don't believe me, just ask yourself a question. Right? So you got three individuals plus my wife. Right? A lot of you cracked it, which is why I'm saying the private connection's no better than the people that's talking in the pub right now. Right? I get what is happening and unfolding right now. I don't need the bullshit. When people ask why, the question on everybody's minds, why? Why? You want to destroy this family? Be my guest, because all you're going to end up is with me, on my own. Right? No more frauds, no more returns. You're going to end up with the problem that we are trying to prevent. It's a big, big thing. Right? There's a needy and a wanty. Right? We know who's supposed to be next in line in all of this, right? We know I get married, that's the definite yes, regardless of what is unfolding the truth. I said, if you really want it, boom, boom. I said, if I'm honest with you, it's because I am honest with you. The calculations, the dates, and everything add up. But there are people out there that want this to be destroyed, or gone, buried, or doesn't want this to happen. Right? When I'm on holiday, bad things will start to happen on you. People will die on me, one by one, without realizing why. I told you, stop talking about it and let it unfold naturally. Right? People have clues and they have answers of their own that connects everything up, correct? But then you gotta realize where's the three children in play in all of this. You need to realize why. People know the truth. Be honest with me, right? You can't be dishonest with me and then blab it off in the pub. For God's sake, send. Right? You want my mother involved? Don't get her involved. Don't get my, don't get Duck involved. I said, it's all there in black and white, right? There's a lot of people that say, why do we need to get this unfolded correctly? Well, Emily Helen Hatt marries one of my friends, but it become a connection, right? You can't argue what people know. A lot of people have a chain of command in play, right? I am folding it for you every time. I did not do nothing wrong, and you blaming a blue puffball plus fat controller for nothing, right? Because I'm on holiday. So when I'm on holiday, this big disaster will come in front of your face, and I will tell you now. I warned you. I told you. I swear my God on it. Why? Because you let something unfold, but without me on the premises, or as example. Right? Things will start to unfold. Right? I have to think about my three people that are involved, but only two of them go descendantly down. Why? There's a cat with my hat family tree that's put you right off. Right? You have to get realistic. Richard Topham Hat and Emily Helen Hat. what you will call, from my perspective, my son and my granddaughter. Charles Nicholas Hatt is normally not in check, right? There are things that are unfolding in truth you do not want to blab off, right? Then the timeline extends itself because of the flaming problem to say, look, okay, then Emily Helen Hatt gets married to one of my connections and friends. Click, click. Then it still goes down. Then you're adding up the last piece of a puzzle saying, I warned you so. You can't argue what's unfolding here. A lot of people may talk about it in a pub, I get it, because it's a big topic to uncover here. But when it unfolds in front of you, you got me, but then you're screwed up. Where, why, how, where, and when? Okay, you screwed up. But get real. You got me, you had my father, got my mother in the picture, obviously. Then you got my grandfather. 3 times. People know the truth, but they just don't want to blab it off too much. Right? When it all unfolds correctly for you, you will start to appreciate it more. I don't want to keep doing this as every 2 hour podcast. I'm making sure you understand everything. Why is it? Right? People know things, but I'm not. I'm getting like a blunt instrument right now, saying a lot of people will end up saying he's just like his father. He's just like his father. Well, I'm going to tell you now, I'm not. I'm totally different in every angle, right? In every aspect. And if you have got any decency for the descendants of the Hats, which you want, you need, and it's not a need, it's more of a need than a want. Right? When it all comes to you in black and white, don't throw the book at my family because my family will come back after you. Right? When all the rest of this timeline plays out correctly, you're gonna see what shit, shit, shit. Right? I told you from the beginning. Right? In the day with the day I rise, so does steam. But in the day, what people don't get, the family comes with it. And the family has to do extra work to recorrect your bloody stinking little problem. Right? So while you lot are all talking in the pub and all of that, while everybody else is getting all the information, then you're gonna actually say shit, shit, shit. Right? When you talk in the pub, I expect you to respect me. Don't fuck around. Because something's gonna go completely wrong when I'm not on the premises. You're gonna screw up everything right now. Right now, it's like a what shit crap. So, if you really don't believe what's unfolding, then just watch as it unfolds in front of your eyes. Stop pissing the whole Hat family off. Not even me. Because in the day, you're seeing what's meant to unfold, you're seeing what you're getting, and everything else. I said it's realistic, it's true, and it's fact. Stop pissing about with it. Because eventually it will unfold naturally for you. But then you want more. You want this. You want that. We want this and we want that. I said, look, grow up. There are people in this world that want me out of the way. Right? There are some people that want this event to unfold naturally. There are some people that want to stand up for me because they know the bloody damn truth behind it all. Right? There are people around me you just don't get. Right? When things unfold, there are a lot of people they didn't get the information in time or understand what's unfolded, and they can't put the pieces together. I said, I am apologetic to all of you that just think that's just all balmy. I said, no, it isn't. If I'm here, live and well, you bloody morons and twats out there that think you know it all, I said, back off then. Watch what happens. Because at the end of the day, you're going to lose people. Right? Like Janeway stated, our family is incomplete. Right? Because you fucked up. So don't tell me I've gone boom boom, because I was just saying, watch what unfolds in front of you. The clues are everywhere, so stop butting in like you think you know it all. Because you don't. You're screwing up what you need. So what will happen is when Richard comes into power for 2 years, which is true, boom, boom. Then you got to work out who that Richard Topham Hatt is. Right? Then you got Emily Helen Hatt, who's my granddaughter. So work it out. It's supposed to be going forward for you guys, but you're screwing up. So work it out. Charles Nicholas Hatt is probably part of a puzzle or a safeguard. There are people in this world that don't want this to continue or unfold correctly. Right? Bullshit them. Right? Because they don't know what the fuck are they talking about. When it unfolds in front of you, you then you're gonna start click, click, click. Right? When the truth has been put in front of you, grow up. Right? When the truth unfolds in front of you, right? The unlikely fall, yes. Everything else, it all adds up. But then you've got to work out why. Why? Some people know things they don't want you to know straight away. There are things that you talk, but it's like saying money talks, bullshit walks, right? In this case, you're dealing with something that is meant psychologically knowing the truth, right? There are people that know the truth, but they're letting it unfold naturally. Correct. But when you got Ellen and Margaret in play and myself and the three kids at the bottom, then you got to work out they're not three kids. They are a son and a daughter, granddaughter in play here. Charles Nicholas is basically a safeguard. So then you got to work out, okay, ding ding, something has to click. So when you add it all up, it clicks and it plays, right? We all knew from day one people make mistakes in their lives, which is true. But then things start to unfold correctly. Why? Then you're asking the big question. You see, you're getting the truth out of me and the honesty and the respect, but people are blabbing off in the pub. Watch your step, because you might be getting booted out. And that's fact, because you don't deserve to be in the pub. Right? People know the truth, but there's a lot of things that you have to watch to understand these things. I said people worked it out, but they're not saying too much of it. When people want something fast or efficient, don't blame me when my family really likes to go poof. Then people will start realizing what the fuck are we done wrong. Right? I get it. Right? I know what I'm saying is true, but no lies, no deceits, no dishonesty. You have to work out why. When the story is told in truth, Wild Norester doesn't lie. Why? You find it hard to believe it? I said, why talk about it in a pub when you know the information you were given by private connections of mine? Stump, stump, keep your mouth shut. Let it play out, because it should play out nicely for you. End of the day, I'm not going to be running for the hills and say, watch out then, because if you get diesel 10 the third in play, you're screwed. And then everything won't add up. Okay? Things will not add up. And then things will understand, oh shit, we should listen to me. Or Stephen Topham Hatt the third. I said, look, it's true, it's fact, it's logic. Right? In the day, you've got 3 kids on the menu, which is true. You want to kill them off? Be my guest, you go to prison. Simple as. It's fact, it's truth, and it's logic. You can't argue with that. I can't believe I have to do this in front of your, in front of you, to say, look, you're dealing with a real life event here. You got a damage you do not want that to happen. Right? It's all realistic, but you've got to realise where. You see, you got me, Stephen Topham Hatt the third, but then you got to work out wife and 3 kids. What they assume is a 3 kid direction. It's actually 2, 1 kid. Why? Because there's a granddaughter, there's a son, and then there's a granddaughter in play. So out of all of what you need and want, which is to everybody else's, there's a need for them. By destroying everything, you're bloody damaging everything you need, not want. For people that don't fully understand this, why do you think I am pointing my finger at you or putting you straight? People know things, correct, but you do not meddle with the time stream. That's the last thing you want on the list. By changing the story again, which you do not want, right? People know it, but a lot of people at this moment may not understand what has unfolded. Right? To get this far up the tree. Right? My family is so bloody gifted, we do not tend. The only private connections, they knew what is unfolding. They know what is supposed to unfold. You basically damage the time stream. On top of that, and the temporal prime directive on top applies. And then you're adding up everything else. I said you screwed it up once. You right. You don't want the lightning strikes twice. That's fact. Right. In the day, if you really want Richard Topham Hatt, the next one in line, to to cut to continue, you're gonna have to go through me to get it. You have to go through me to get it. But then M&GN Hatt will be produced by Richard Topham Hatt, my son. But something has to click and play, so you have to work out what did we do wrong you screwed up on. Right, people know things, yes, but then there's a lot of people saying, look, I'm not the bad guy here. I'm not the bad guy you think I am. Right, you're understanding everything. I get that. But when it all comes down to black and white, you have to be realistic on these things. Right? When people know things, they've been honest with you. But it's the way it's unfolded in front of you, you damaging it. You do not know what or why or how or when, whatever. Why did we screw up? Well, the biggest screw up comes from the community. The community knew about it. Then my private connections know about it. Then it goes back to me. Why? Because it has to unfold correctly. So when it all goes down in black and white for you, don't screw up. Because it's all there in black and white. Right? People know about me and my lady hat and the children, obviously. They have to get realistic. But you have to be realistic on yourselves to understand you do not want this damage to happen. because there's a big plot twist to this, right? That brings everything into power and resources for, right? You got my son Richard on a question mark now because you're fuck up. Then you got Emily Helen Hatt who isn't born yet. So you got Richard Topham Hatt who isn't born yet. So you need to work it out. You got me correct, but somebody screwed up. So in those days, damage you do not want is Diesel 10 the third going after Lady, for example. Right? It's true, it's fact, and it's logic. Right? I will be on holiday for this one, and then it won't add up, and the bad things will happen, and then everything will be twisted. Then you can say we should be listening to Stephen Toppinat the third. We should be listening to him. He's been honest with us. He's been honest with us, trustworthy, kind, all of it. He's been giving it to us on a plate without no hasslement, no arguments, no debates. All I needed was a bit of flaming respect. Right? You damage you do not want. It's a repeated pattern again that happened the last time. So when lady is already in check, yes, but then you got to work out the masterpiece. Right? I cracked it, but then you got to realize why. A lot of people may not be aware of how it's supposed to unfold. You really got to keep your mouth stumped. Right now, I've got a bigger problem to deal with, you lot. I said, when you know something, let it play out. If my connections fuck up, that's their fucking problem, not mine. Right? If my private connections know about it, they will get the whispers. So it goes back to them and it comes back to me. Why? Because I'm the top dog. Right? So when you lot supposed to know this, and this, get real. Because there's people that in this world that don't want certain events to happen. Right? I cracked the puzzle before they could get the damage done. So work it out. So when it all unfolds correctly for you, don't screw up what you're getting because it's unfolding in the correct way. But it's taken me a little bit longer because of the time span. Number one. Number two, you have to work out how does he know that? How did he know that? Right? I'm not going to give out all my family trade secrets, right? There are things in my head that know a lot of people. Not just knowing them, not just personally, but everything. People know things, which I get it. People are reporting to me because it's a red flag right now for everybody. Right? If you let's just say you try and damage everything, right? You killed off or destroyed what you need. Right? I get the point that people will put this as a red flag. Right? It's not just about people blabbing off in a pub. Right? There are people that have to be self aware. Why it unfolds the easiest way for me. My grandfather put a safeguard on me and then one other individual. But then you got to work out why did people know about what was unfolding, which is true. It will go back to the people that know it first before I did. Then it goes back to them. Then it goes back to you lot. So grow up. Because in the day, you're not going to win over something that's true. So you got to be realistic on this and say, how did he know that? How did he know this? How did he know that? And it all adds up. My family is in grave danger because of all of you. Blabber off damage you could do that be bad damage you do not want. Right? It's true, it's fact, and it's logic. But in the day, People know people, correct, but there are people that are trying. A lot of people, I may not have a much contacts or private contacts that know what needs to be done. Why? The safeguards are up for obvious reasons, obviously that way, but then the damage you do not want is the thing I'm preventing. Why? That's the biggest key of all time. Why? A lot of people know what is meant to unfold properly, but because people not aware that my family's gifted, highly respected, and all of that, look at yourselves. Everything's unfolded correct, right? Yeah, but there's a lot more to this puzzle. Not just the Tom Tank franchise, you're dealing with the Star Trek franchise, you're dealing with Power Rangers, Murder She Wrote, The Bill, all of it. Why? You're not, in the day, you're getting what you need, but the damage you may be doing in the pub, when you drink, when you socialise, and everything else, if you know certain things, what's meant to unfold, let it unfold. Don't talk about it because all you're doing is damaging what you need. So when it all comes back to me, ding ding, which it does, then I'm going to start asking questions. Right? There are things played out the way it should, but now you damaged it. It's basically you saying, okay, you damaged the goods, obviously, it's the word to express it, right? You're in a pub and you damage the goods, right? Basically, the good stuff you need, not the bad stuff, right? The damage you created is on you, not me, right? So you rule me out a bit. Give me a little bit of leeway and respect for this, right? I'm getting fed up people calling me Matthew Stephen Manson because that's what's in your heads at the moment. Some of you know me as Stephen, yes, Topham Hatt the third, but there's a lot of people that know what's meant to unfold because it's supposed to unfold that way, right? People already discovered who Lady Hat is. Some of them have to go through what keep your mouth quiet, right? There are times when I know drink talks, bullshit walks, right? In every day, when you know stuff and really work it all out, right? I may be the third gen Hat, yes, but you screwed up my wife and the kids that were supposed to be playing checkmate. You had it all there on the cards, on the table. Like I said, you screwed it up, you fix it. Right? I'm not gonna be. I will get my private connections to help you, but you're gonna have to fucking grow up. Excuse my language, but it's out of tone. The damage you do not want is what people are afraid of. Right? It's not about me. Right? Because people know my personalities too well. And at the end of the day, when you wake up in the morning, smell that coffee and all of that shit, realistically, grow up. Then you're going to end up saying, shit, we screwed this part of the puzzle up. Do you know what happens now? You could end up with something you do not want. And that's the big element key on this. When we discuss this in really adult terms, we do not expect you to work around the clock that you do not want. Alright, I get it. There's people that do this damage for a reason. Why I have to get my private engines, support engines, to clear up all your bloody mess. Why at this moment you lot are in the black or in the pub that know this information, let it play out. Because in the day you put me the person that should be the next thing in line for you, right? At the same time, things unfold in nature's course. I said, in the day, you screwed up. I said to you, you're gonna screw up one day. Right? I warned you. I told you, and I'm telling you. Right? I see it with my own eyes. I don't have to ask too many bloody questions. I cracked all the puzzle. You lot screwed it up. So now I have to get something done about it. So while you lot are all bloody crying wolf, right now, I said to you, keep your mouth shut. Right? Let it play out. Because in the day, there are people that are entitled to know these things to a degree. Yes, when people worked it out and not being honest with me to begin with, I said, how much of you realise what is meant to unfold? Right? There's tons of you out there, and millions, billions of people out there that do know the truth. Right? I don't need to have a second of a performance of the Thomas and the Magic Railroad in disaster. That's what I'm trying to prevent, which is a good thing in some aspects because I'm Thomas the Tank as well. But I'm getting a little bit tired of people pushing, push, push. Right? You're damaging it all for your own personal gain, and you fucked it up, and you ruined your lives. You screwed up everything. Now you're lost, probably the whole lot, the thing that was meant to unfold correctly, and then people start asking questions. Why did we fuck up? Why did we damage this? And then you ended up saying, fuck, shit, crap. Why? The last thing you want is this bad thing to happen, which is true. A lot of people know about it, but they're starting to understand it, what needs to be fixed, what needs to be corrected, and everything. I said, it's not about money in the end. It's about the clues you were given, the answers you were given. Right? They were all in front of you, so why did you screw it up? Like I said, I didn't talk too much. What happens is, a lot of people know what's meant to unfold, correct? I get that. So do I. But there's a lot of people that know what was meant to unfold. Right? In the other day, you just had to wait a bit more patiently. Now, you have to clear up on your damage and then ended up saying a big apology to everybody. Not just to people that blabber off, but you've got to realize why. The damage you do not want in front of you, it may happen now because what will happen is I will go on holiday and then the damage will be done in front of your flaming eyes without realizing it. And then it will start to slowly unfold like any other book and every play and all the movies as well. They all coordinated. So when it unfolds in front of you, then you'll be starting crying wolf because you know that you made a fuck up. And I'm sorry for swearing, but it's the damn truth, and that's why. People do hard work for you. You spit my family in the face, 1958 onwards, did everything they'd done by the book for you, and all that you got in return is me. But I'm not the only person on the bloody line here. So, with all that being said and done, people are now asking questions. They say, what, shit, crap, whatever next. You don't want this damage to happen, nor do I. But the thing is, you've been blabbing about it in the pub, getting the right people and the right perspective. I said people know things, yes, but when people give out information for you, right, regardless that a lot of people know a lot of stuff, it's all reported back to my support team, support engines, as you like to call them, and everything else, and plus private connections on top. It reports back to them saying, you don't want this damage, you do not want, nor do I, because I'm normally on holiday right now, and it will come clear thinking, what fuck shit crap. It's all going to unfold correctly at some stage. But now you got to apologise to me in general. Right? A lot of people in the pubs do talk. Right? I may be the honest person in the building, but don't fucking spit it in my face and blow up. Right? One of these days, you're gonna end up finding out what did we fucking do wrong. Right? I'm making more of the effort here in every angle, and you're throwing it in your face. Then you're asking yourself, where's the other Hat member of the family? And then I will tell you, you fucked up. So don't blame me, because I'm not the problem maker here. Right? It's the way you didn't see it unfold properly. Like I said, the magic you refuse to believe in will get the better of you. Quotably, people know about it, correct? So does the people I know. And I said, in the day, you're dealing with something you can't fully understand. And there's a lot to take in. People know about it, correct? But not all of people. People might think, what's going on here? What's this? What's this guy got that we don't have? I said, have you worked it out yet? In the day, you're screwing up what you're damaging. Right? There's a lot of people out this in this world that want to damage everything you need. Need. Right? It's all facts, it's all true. But then you got to work backwards to realize why. It's all true. Don't get me wrong. All the facts are all there. All the logic is there. But then you got to work out the connection. Right? When you know that connection, you keep your mouth shut and behave. I told you from day one, when you're meddling with me and my family, don't come crying to Wolf that I warned you so. Because it always comes back fighting. And I warned you, and I warned you, and I warned you. Like I said, the damage you do not want is the thing that I am also preventing. But at the same time, giving you what you need, not wants. Everybody's got it all together, know exactly what it is and what it is and what it is. Do you ever learn from your mistakes and actually clear up your own shit for once or your mess? I said it's all there in realistic form. I can't keep talking about it all night for you. But it's all facts, it's all true, it's all logic. I said you need to work it out. A lot of people have worked it out. Then I worked out the last piece. Ding ding. So work it out. You're not just dealing with my side of the family. Then you've got to work out why. People know it's true. No lies, no deceits, no dishonesty. That's fact. But you've got to be realistic. When people realize it's realistic, there are things that are meant to unfold, but it's a funny way of unfolding it at the moment. People know the answers, know the clues, know the facts, but it's getting difficult right now. You put me in a very difficult position to try not to be in the two places at the same time. Right? You screwed up what's meant to unfold. You try to damage it, but I fixed it. Because I'm just now making it quite clear. I said, damage you do not want. I said, if you damage it this time, I will blame you for the responsibility for it. But when you don't see it unfold correctly, people don't know why it unfolds like this. Like I said, people are safeguarded. Right? People assume that what's unfolding is like, why is this guy so got this and this? I said, have you worked it out yet? For people that do not understand what's unfolding, I said, watch the very first podcast that I put up. It tells you the truth, yes, but then everything adds up. You see, my family's trying to safeguard me every damn time. Why? By damaging me, you're damaging yourselves. Fact. But you're not hurting me, you're just saying, right, you're a really useful engine, yes, which is true. Why do you think I'm telling you? You know, when we talk about Thomas and the Magic Railroad, which is a big key element of this connection, right, you have to be realistic. People don't see the bigger picture. I said there are reasons around this you're not seeing. And it is a shame for you, for a lot of you out there that do know the story quite well and understand it, but now you have to put Wild and the West's timeline in play to get the rest. It's not a game, it's real life. And this is why it puts you in a little bit of a difficult situation. I said it's real as it comes. You can't change what's unfolded. Of course, there's some people that know people. Connections know connections. Private connections know what to do. But a lot of people don't know what is unfolded. Why? My grandfather made sure that you don't fuck up, which you are bloody doing at the moment. The damage you don't want. Right, one of these days I will go on holiday for 4 days, which it will happen, and then something bad will happen, and I will told you, I fucking warned you about Diesel 10 the third, or Diesel 10 himself, as a human being. I warned you. I said, if I was in the middle of this, stuck in the middle, safeguarding Lady herself, what do you think will be happening when I'm not there? All the fuck up. So work it out. Then people will moan, groan, and then add up this been upset because I wasn't there stuck in the middle trying to be the hero that everybody looks up to. Right? We all take my life personally right now. Right? A lot of people may not see the logic or the facts in it. Right? It's played out correctly, yes, but it's a third generation. Ding ding. But I can't marry my friends at the moment, or one of my friends, because it doesn't work like that. You see, you want something magical to happen, right? I get that. By talking about it in the pub, sip it. It's not a game anymore, right? When it all unfolds for you, you're gonna end up saying, "Oh shit." You know, at the end of the day, you're getting what you need, but you can't get it right now because you're screwed up. Your heads are like donk donk, can't work it out. Why? Right? End of the day. there is principles and understanding of it. Right? People know the truth behind it all, how it all connects up and how it unfolds. But the damage you do not want is Diesel 10 in that bloody building. Right? The Albion would be the red flag of the year. Right? While all the rest of the world are going to be on amber alert. Why? Because they are worried. They are concerned. And everything else. I've told you what's wrong the rest of this timeline from season 4 and 5. And then the dots will come together. I said, if you let if you let it unfold naturally, you won't cause the damage you do not want. I'm not going to be talking about this all night because I tell you now, I may get people's a lot of respect. Don't get me wrong, a lot of it, and then you ended up saying, "Why is he getting that respect?" And I'm not. It's like saying my family has got a lot to do with this, right? End of the day, you screwed up. People talk, yes, I get it. When you know something that's supposed to unfold correctly, you don't damage it, you assholes. You know what I mean? I may be angry with you lot, but at the same time, you pissed everybody off. It's because I talk to the right people all the time. Right? There's things unfolding in truth you do not want to damage right now. Now, you put me and the others in danger. Red flag everywhere. Right? It doesn't mean that the Albion are targeted for everything. You've just put the steam trains delito right at this moment, trying to rectify the problem before you can jump off the cliff. Right? People know the truth, but there's a lot of people that may not know the truth. Right? There are a lot of facts in play, yes, but then you gotta work out why. Things happened, right? In truth, the damage you do not want it to happen at all. Why? I get it. There's facts everywhere, truth everywhere, logic everywhere. It's all facts, it's all truth. It's just the way you lot are all seeing it right now. Right? You're blaming me for nothing. You will end up with Diesel 10 in the premises one day and he will fuck you all up. Right? I get that because there's a third generation floating about. Like I said, when it unfolds in front of you, you're going to end up saying, I warned you so. Mr. C and C Jr. is aware of this. Right? They know what they're doing by nature's course, of course. But at the same time, damage you do not want, I tell you, watch out. Because I've been warning you all the time. I've been doing it all the time. I said, how can you make the Hatts return with me, obviously myself, my wife, and the kids? Checkmate. Right? People have to get realistic. This has taken me time after time when I know I've been honest with you. I've been straightforward with you. I said people know the damn truth, but they don't realize what the fuck. Yeah, well, wait. There's a lot of things about the story that that's unfolding the truth, but then you got to recorrect the damn thing. Right? You got season 5 and season 4 of the early years to watch to realize what's unfolded. Right? If you don't catch it, you don't get the answer you're looking for. Right? A lot of people may not pay attention to it all. Right? I get it. It's all there in black and damn bloody white. When people know things about my life, especially ahead of schedule, even now, I said, don't piss me off, because all you're going to get is get burnt or scarred. Why? Because you've seen what's meant to unfold naturally. So if I find out there's more talk, 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 and communication, I said, wake up, smell the coffee before you jump. Right, I get people understand things and they try and listen to things and understand what's unfolded. I said, if you piss my family off, I will definitely put it right on the menu. I said, you need to work out why. You got Helen and Margaret in play, so it's Margaret in the playing field of all of this as well. And then you've got the kids at the bottom. So I know that there's something right about it. But then you got to realize people make the right actions for you to establish and understand. Let me give you an example, right? I know money talks, bullshit walks with you guys, but you don't want this damage to happen, right? We always try to prevent it rather than go forward with a nature's course, right? People make actions, the right actions. If people know what's unfolding, they won't tell you in public directly. Right? I get it. But when the news spreads out, I said it's all connected. Doesn't matter if you're left, right, or centre on this. Right? You've seen the thing that was meant to unfold, but you could damage it right now. Right? Because a lot of people know what's meant to unfold naturally for Wild Northwestern's timeline, which is true, it's playing out in the correct way, and it's true, it's logic, and it's fact. I'm not pissing about. You know, when you see it unfold, it's coming to light. You know, when you see it unfold, it comes truthful. The truth is what you want, innit? You want an honest person? You got it. You got me. Don't get me wrong, but in reality, you got to understand why. You cannot meddle with the way it's unfolding in front of you. I'm not rushing it, but there are a lot of people that may not understand what's unfolding. They may do the actions, but they don't know why. Why? You may understand there's things unfolding in truth in front of you, but you may not understand why did he do that, why did he do that, or why did she do that, why did that. It adds up, but the calculations are correct. But when you add it all up, people now saying, oh fuck, we did do the damage. You know, when you think about drinking, eating, and sleeping and all that, and then having a boozing situation in the afternoon, don't do it on my turf, or not in front of me, as they say. I said, people need to be clear headed when they listen to these podcasts because they're realistic. But they also, at the same time, you want the return of the rest of my family and the Hats. I said, we're all connected. It's just the way it unfolds in front of you. When I got 3 children to worry about and a wife. So there's 4 people in play here, plus myself, makes 5. Doesn't it doesn't come that easy. When you probably watched it on the TV or watched the movie and all that, I said it's all bloody damn true. It's just the way it unfolds in front of you. When people understand things, they get the facts, the logic, and the truth. I am not BSing. I'm not bullshitting. Nothing. Right? Everything is unfolded in truth. But there's a thing about the thing that's all about all of that too on top. but you need to get your head around it. I understand you don't have the patience or the virtue to round it all up. I said, I don't talk, but people pick up. Why does he dress like that, or why does he do that? I said, it's all realistic. You're just bloody damaging it right now. Damage you do not want on a plate. Right? So I will go on holiday because I can't do two jobs at once. Right? Then a damage will be caused and you'll be fucked. Right? Then I'll be telling you I warned you so. Right? It's not a lie. It's not a deceit or a dishonesty. It's just that when you got these people involved or other people that are connected to the franchise or anything like that, they come as a full-time story. But in the day you're damaging, I told you, the damage you do not want is Diesel 10 on the loose, which is true. But he's a real life person who's damaging me as well. So while he's blabbing off saying, oh, this is it, this and this and this and this, yeah, watch out. So when it comes down to people in the Albion, in Knapford for slash Cromer, watch out. Because in the day you're going to end up with a problem. A very big problem. I need an apology from you guys because I don't want. It's the truth, but it's the logic. The respect comes a long way. When I track down people, when I know people too damn bloody well, you don't know what is unfolded already so far for you to click it in play. Why? People have done a lot for me, I get it. But there's a lot of people that deserve their respect as well. Their dignity, their pride. I keep telling you, there's a lot more at stake here than your money's worth. You're damaging you're damaging it you don't want. A damage you do not want. The reason I say it is because it's true. I would not lie in front of you. So if you want Richard Topham Hatt and Emily Helen Hatt, you have to start growing up. Because it's a fact. It's a logic and it's a truth. But then you already worked out who my wife is. But she can't work it out at the moment. So when you look in the mirror and realise Margaret's watching, probably with my contacts, my private connections all around the UK and the globe and everywhere, they're all going to pick up this. And what they're going to see is saying, fuck, see, they screwed up in the Albion. And they'd be not laughing, they'd be dead damn serious. So, don't blame my family for anything because I've already been there safeguarded by my own flesh and blood. In the day, you don't report back to my mother or Duck because Duck won't understand everything. I said it's been played out correctly for you, but you won't noticed it. So when it's unfolding the truth for everybody else, it's all true, it's all logic, it's all fact. I'm not bullshitting by the bush. People that are monitoring this knows it's like my family's monitoring this, my connections are monitoring this, and then it all adds up. Even private connections. The damage you do not want. Why? In the day, I'm not going to be going round in circles and said, I warned you. Right? I know the way the Thomas and the Magic Railroad works, right? We all like happy endings and we like to get that bit done correctly. I get it. But by you damaging it, you and then you're gonna end up with another problem. So the timeline is that you got me in 1983, right? Then you had my mother married Charles Topham Hatt on top of that, being honest. Right, and then you go back to 1958 with my grandfather, and then that's it. And then you got me and my wife and my three sets of kids. Or I say two, one actually, because it's only Richard in play. But then all the answers and clues are in the Albion. So wake up. The clues, the answers, and everything are all there in black and white. So I warned you, I told you so. So fucking grow up. You know, it's not a problem, but I really am angry about this. But I want you to understand it's true, it's fact, it's logic. You can't complain about the facts that are in front of your face. The clues are there, the answers are there, everything was all on a plate. I said there are things on the line you can't see. Right? You, a lot of people don't get it right now because there's a lot of people that can't put the pieces together like we do. We do it out of kindness and out of respect. By damaging me, you're damaging everything. Right? So, right, let me give you an example, right? I know timelines can be very funny at times, right? If I don't get married, as example, you're going to end up with nothing on the end, right? And I'll be telling you, how do I pass the torch? It's example, right? I'm being honest with you there and then, right? You do not want it to escalate to a problem, which it is, and it's just that the facts are there in black and white. I said the damage you do not want. People know the truth, but they don't. There are a lot of people out there that don't want this event to happen. Why? I get that. People that don't understand what is unfolding. Right? That's another one. But it's all facts and truth, regardless of way it unfolds. Right? You can't blame me because I'm innocent. Right? Because I'm not like my father in any direction. But then you've got Diesel 10 the third. Ding ding. Right? I never bugged him, so you can't blame him. And you can't blame me because I don't have Peachy. Right? So because I'm Thomas the Tank. So get it through your head. I'm a really useful engine on top of the fat man. But you really are pushing your luck. A lot of people, taxi drivers, private connections, they all know the drill. So when the fat man rises, so does steam. But then you've got the wife and the kids on top of that. Which then that goes down to Emily Helen Hatt and the connections are connected. Right? There are a lot of things that are meant to unfold, but you're not letting it unfold correctly. So the damage is there at the moment. So we all have to clear it all up. Right? You want the facts, you want the answers, I just give it to you on a plate. I said, you're dealing with two people's lives here on the line. Right? The third one is actually a safeguard. Right? In the day you screwed up. Right? People know the truth, but they don't want it in the public eye. If you know the truth, sip it. Right? I'm not being rude. It's just plain instant record. There's facts to this. Right? And the Albion at this moment has been a toxicated area. I can't work with a toxicated area. Right? People know things. StreamYard, YouTube, Google, all of it does. Even TikTok. I'm not going to lie about that, but it's all facts. I told you that my family will bite you on the bum at some point. Right? I may have the full puzzle in my head to know what's meant to unfold and all of that. But if you want the damage to continue, then you're asking for big trouble in the end. Then you'll ask me why. Right? In the day, it's unfolding in the correct way for you, but you screwed it up a bit. Now you've got to apologise to me and my family for screwing it up. When I've been honest with you, right? Go ahead with it. Whatever you want to do. But don't blame me when Diesel 10 enters the premises and screws the person up accidentally. Right? Because I won't be there in the middle to safeguard her. So now you've screwed yourselves up. Wake up and smell the damn coffee. People know things like this because people are getting messages from my private connections. So if I'm not mentioning no names in this. So when I say private connections, they pass the buck to you, you shut up. Right? When it all comes down to me and what is unfolding directly in front of me and what I got on me as well, it unfolds the right way. But now you cause that big fat damage you do not want. It's true, it's fact, and it's logic. Now you got to clear up all that mess before you can go forward. Now you got to realize, oh fuck. So by normal timeline standards, of course I am the third gen Hatt, obviously. But then you got to realize, well, how does the wife come into play in all this? Right? Safeguard is always in place for everybody, not just me, the wife included, and the kids. Then you work out why the kids are so important. You got the son and the daughter and the granddaughter. The granddaughter will marry someone that I know. Right? Get the point? Why it's all connected? I said connections are everywhere. Private connections are working overtime to fix your bloody problems. So it's all realistic. Just let it play out. But you're damaging everything around you. You're damaging your lives in the process. So stop meddling around with something that's unfolding in front of you. When people, I've been honest, but you're screwing it up. Then you're making a big boo boo out of it. That's your mistake, not mine. People know things, but they can't say it out loud. Why? I get the clues, I get the answers, and I worked it out. It's that bloody simple. There are people in that bloody pub that don't deserve to be in that pub. Why? Everybody that works for me, or well, let's say in that pub to drink, why? They are earwiggers and they assholes. No offense, but I'm not a bad person. Why? There are things unfolded in truth for you, not just the bloody what is unfolded meant to be. Right? So the damage has to be now be got cleared up. Right? I ending up making sure that you don't screw up even further and further and dig yourself a bigger hole than you can't get out of. So, if you respect me like you normally would, grow up and look at the bigger picture. If I'm here, then you're asking yourself a big question: where is Richard and Emily, Helen Hatt? But they are father and daughter, yes, but they're my son and my granddaughter. Work forward. Then you're asking who my wife is. But people already worked that out too. But I haven't got the time no more to try and dig in deeper. Already we dug the full rat timeline in my head. Right? People can't see the bigger picture anymore. They think it's all in a day you're gonna lose something more greater than good. Right? You're gonna end up feeling I lost something. Couldn't we correct the problem? Can't rectify it. Can't do this. Can't do that. Why? Because people think they know it all. I said, don't bother because it's unfolding in front of you. Right? People know it, but they just gotta wake up and smell of coffee. When I actually established this for you to realize you do not want the damage you don't need or want. We know what the needs are. We try to explain it to you what is a need, but then you don't look at my family tree to work backwards. I told you, it's gonna stump you on the backside. Right, when people unfold it correctly for you, don't spit them in the faces, nor me, because we try to do what was needed to be unfolded for you. Right? I'm not a single man, I'm basically taken to a point, but you gotta work out who the wife is. People know who it is, what it is, why. Then people are not fully aware that's unfolding the truth. I just don't need the BS from people right now. The bullshit. Right? We just need you to understand it was unfolding in truth for everybody else, but out of respect for me and my family, you may have caused the damage that you do not want. Right now, I've got to repair that damage quickly before the damage gets even worse. I said to you, in the day, the past will always catch up with you, number one. Number two, my family's already been through it twice. But the second time, my mother got burnt. No, not basically a big problem, alright? In the end of the day, I'm rectifying it now, trying to fix the whole lot in the third generation to go forward. Then it all adds up, slowly. But in the day, if you're gonna harass my family and all that, don't bother. It's true, it's fact, and it's logic. If you're gonna meddle with time and all that, that's your fault. You'll clear up. Time to clear it up. Right? End of the day, you don't know what's unfolding. Well, that's your loss. If you can't understand what's unfolding, but people do understand, I said there are good people and there's bad people floating about at the moment, and you can't trust all of them. You could trust me indefinite because I'm too really useful, helping people out, respecting people, being honest, kind, caring, all of it. If people are not going to think straight, then you're not on the right page for everything. Right? Damage you do not want. Right? The what happened is a lot of people have done a lot of hard work. Right? Put a lot of effort in to get what you need. Of course, I'm a surgeon and all of that, but the problem is you may have damaged the whole bloody time stream. Now I've got to rectify it before you bloody go boom, boom, boom. Right? The damage you do not want right now is what you don't want to happen. Right? There's path A, path B. I've been on path A and stabilizing everything for you. Path B is what your fuck up's done to you. So it's your fault for not investigating my family tree that well. It's a shame because you've now put yourself in the hot pot. I warned you you're gonna get told off at some point, and I warned you. And that goes to the Albion, it goes to everywhere. But the thing is, we all on a bloody same page to a certain level of degree. Right? In the day, a lot of people may not understand what's unfolded. Right? I get that. But at the end of the day, you basically put yourself in the hot pot. Because you talk about it, and then people know things about what's ahead of them before they jump. I said let it unfold naturally. Don't blab off. Right, when it unfolds in front of you, it will all come clear in the end. Eventually, it has to click and play somewhere down the line. Right, we get that. Family relates to family and connects to family. People may be scared now, pissed off, upset, and all of it. Why? Because they can't work it out in their heads. There are a lot of people that maybe can't work it out. Why? How do you work that out quick enough? I said, did you know why I do all the hard work while you sit back and enjoy the ride? Work it out. The clue was right in the right frame of mind and everything. But then you got to work out why. You see, by damaging what you need, now you've fucked up. You could go to bed and think about it. And think about it logically. Because I won't take no BS no more. Because if everybody knows it's happening all in truth, then you're going to end up saying fuck. Right? Because I don't bullshit. I've always been honest with you. Always been honest with everybody else. But then when you want me and the family to reunite and connect or go down the chain, as they say, somebody within the community wants me gone or buried or gone, whatever. But there's other people that want this to unfold properly. So everything is correct and it's all put correctly. It's true, it's fact, and it's logic. You can't win over it. I established the point that it's nearly taking me 2 hours to try and get you on a straight road. I said to you, a lot of you will end up being scarred or be in the wrong area or the wrong place, and you're gonna get all of this problem all in one bucket, right? You got that problem, you fix it. Not me, personally, because I want the apology from you guys that that's been talking about it in the pub. Right? Should not be talking about it in the pub. I warned you. You're gonna get stumped. And I said I have eyes and ears everywhere. So don't bullshit. When I've been honest with you, you learn the hard way round. Because at this moment, the damage you do not want to happen is what I'm preventing right now. Because I'm alive and well. This is extra work I have to put in to get everybody back on track. So while everybody else is all like saying, oh, this is a load of hooey, N-O spells no. Thank you very much in every angle.